If you're using disconnected tools, constantly switching between platforms and manually transferring that information from one place to another, or maybe you're even using Zapier to connect everything together, you have not built systems. You've built digital busy work that's costing you extra money every month, creating these technical headaches. And that, my friend, is not scalable. Before we jump in, quick reminder to hit that subscribe button wherever you are listening. And if you know another coach who might benefit from this conversation, share it with them because sharing is caring. All right, let's dive in. Now, I work with coaches at all different levels, from those just starting out to 8-figure business owners. And across the board, I see one mistake happening more than any other when coaches are trying to scale. You ready for it? The number one mistake coaches make when trying to scale their business is, drumroll please, they fail to implement systems and automations. And I can hear some of you saying, but I have processes in place, or I'm using all these different tools already, or I don't even know where to start. But here's the truth. If you're using disconnected tools, constantly switching between platforms and manually transferring that information from one place to another, or maybe you're even using Zapier to connect everything together, you have not built systems. You've built digital busy work that's costing you extra money every month, creating these technical headaches. And that, my friend, is not scalable. So let me share a quick story about one of my clients. Now, she is a relationship coach who had amazing results with her clients. She was fully booked with one-on-one sessions, working 50 plus hours a week, and making what seemed like really good money on paper. But she was exhausted, right? Completely burnt out. As they say, booked and burnt out. And when she came to me, she said, listen, I don't understand why I can't seem to break through to that next level. I'm literally working harder than ever. Now, the first thing we did was map out that client journey from start to finish. And guess what? We discovered about, I think it was 23 different manual touch points that she was personally doing on a day-to-day basis that could completely be automated. Now, I'm talking onboarding her new clients took her about 2 hours per person. Following up with leads was inconsistent, right? Because it was like, oh, wait, I don't have the time. I'll just keep pushing it to tomorrow, right? Or maybe 2 days from now. Oh, I'm going out of town, right? And her content distribution was entirely manual, taking entire days of her week, okay? So her coaching was $500 an hour, okay? Spending most of her time on these repetitive tasks that systems could handle automatically. Now, I really want you to sit in that for a moment. So how many hours per week are you spending on these repetitive tasks that could be automated? How many times are you manually entering the same information in different places? And you might be like, well, it's not the same information because I have different clients, right? But you're still gathering the same information, even though they're different clients, okay? If you're like most coaches that I work with, it's probably more than you'd like to admit. Now, I'm not saying that you need a super sophisticated, enterprise level software, right? But if you want to scale, if you want to impact more people and increase your income without working more hours, you need to start thinking differently about your business processes. Now, here is like the mindset shift, okay? Your job is to not work in your business. Your job is to design the systems that allow your business to work for you. Now, that means focusing your time and energy on delivering exceptional results for your clients, right? Creating and refining your coaching methodology and your programs, building relationships and partnerships that will actually grow your business, and high level strategy and vision for where you want your business to go, and really stepping up and being that visionary, that leader, right? That CEO, even more, that you are meant to be. Everything else that should be systematized and automated. Okay. So I know what you might be thinking, but I'm not tech savvy, Michelle. I don't even know like where to begin to set up these systems, or I don't know enough to set up the systems. Okay. So let me challenge you that. Let me challenge that thinking for a minute. Okay. You cannot afford not to, right? So a lot of times, especially these bigger people, they know they're not the smartest at all the things, right? They know their zone of genius and they stay in their lane. What they do know is that they're smart enough that they can hire somebody who's smart enough to know, and that's their expertise. That's their zone of genius. Okay. So even if you're saying, I don't have the money, let's say you charge $200 per coaching session, right? And every hour you spend on the task that could be automated or a system could be put in place is costing you $200 or more in that opportunity cost. That's real math that you need to be looking at. Plus, today's automation tools are so much more user friendly than were even just a few years ago, right? So email marketing platforms like with those visual automation builders, or maybe client management systems designed specifically for coaches, scheduling tools that integrate with everything, right? Zapier and no-code automation tools that connect your apps can sometimes, and they do charge you more, but sometimes they can break, right? So even though you're like, oh, Zapier is my go-to, which could be for a few things, but not all the things. AI tools that can draft your content, maybe answer FAQs, and so much more. All right. So it's all about starting small. Maybe it's just one automated workflow, but that single automation might save you 3 hours every week, freeing up you to take time or to take on one more client or create that group program that you've been thinking about to scale even higher, right? And the return on investment becomes obvious very quickly. And I am talking about you as the CEO, but keep in mind, you might even have a team, or maybe one day look to building a team. And whatever you pay them, it may not be $200 an hour, but whatever you are paying them per hour, you could be also spending money not wisely. I don't know if I said that right, because they're going to be doing those manual things that maybe they don't even have to do, that they can be put into other tasks that can then generate more money. Make sense? Okay. So here's something else to consider. Sometimes the smartest investment you can make isn't trying to figure it all out yourself, right? I just touched on that. Hiring someone to strategically map out your customer journey, design your funnel flows, and set everything up for you can be a total game changer. Yes, it's an investment up front, and sometimes it's not cheap. And I will say, beware that if it is cheap, you might have things that are not expertisely, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Not an expert doing it is what I'm trying to say. But think of this as a one-time investment that pays returns over and over again for years. So my client, she actually took this approach, right? So we started by bringing in a system strategist who mapped out her entire journey, AKA me. Okay. And then we identified the biggest time wasters, right? So we were really looking at her as a whole and what she's doing in regarding to her marketing and regarding to some things she's doing in sales, as well as something she's doing in fulfillment. Okay. Then we implemented an all-in-one system that automated everything. Okay, so we're talking payment reminders, we're talking contracts, we're talking onboarding sequences, sales follow-ups, like everything. Okay, within 3 months, she was able to launch her first group program because her systems were handling the routine work automatically, right? And that program, that group program that she created, generated an additional $30,000 in revenue, way far more than the cost of the software and my expertise to help her. Okay. So a year later, her business runs pretty much on autopilot for about 80% of her routine task or the routine flows, right? So she works fewer hours than she did before, makes 3 times the income, and serves more clients with better results. All because she invested in the proper system instead of doing everything manually and duct taping out all the parts together, right? To really only have partial solutions. So, how do you fix this common mistake? Now, there are 5 practical steps that you can take right now. Okay. So the first one is map out your complete business system. Okay. Not just individual processes. Document every single touch point across your entire business, from your marketing channels to your sales processes to your client fulfillment. Okay. Your systems need to cover all 3 phases: marketing, sales, fulfillment. Now, remember that wowing your clients and fulfillment is what gets them to buy from you over and over again, increasing their lifetime customer value. Okay. Now, this could be getting them to actually finish the course, right? It could be doing marketing research, maybe doing some surveys, right? So brain dump all the things that you would love to do if sky were the limit, right? So you're doing what you're actually doing now. And then you're like, oh, I've been wanting to do this, but I haven't been getting to it because I'm already working 60 plus hours a week, right? So we all know that it's much cheaper to retain a client rather than to acquire a new one. So your goal is to increase your customer lifetime value. And this starts by doing this step. Okay. Step number 2, identify these repetitive tasks and manual bottlenecks. So look for patterns where you've been doing the same things over and over. Do you do a time audit at all? Meaning, do you track your time of what you're spending on, right? So then you know, okay, well, it takes me an hour to do this. It takes me 5 hours to do that, right? Are you tracking that both for you and your team? Okay, this is important that everybody kind of step in and do it. I personally do it. I do it every day. We track our time. I do tracking time for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to make sure I'm pricing properly, that I'm not overcharging clients and I'm not undercharging myself. And I'm also looking at it for my team, that I can be basically deciding, like, do they need more training on this? You know, what has been the holdup? Is something going on with them personally, right? So I look at this on a weekly basis. However, and I use a system called Toggle. It's very simple. I put in the clients, I put in the projects, and then it just tracks the time for me. So you can use a Google Sheet if you want, track every 15 minutes. You can use a system like Toggle and get that going, right? This will allow you to really be more conscious of your time as well, right? So if you're noticing that if you only do it for a week, then maybe there's some certain things or routines that you're doing on a monthly basis that might not be included in that. So I would almost do it. I would definitely start tracking and start noticing, okay, what did you do this week? Okay, what did you do next week? What am I repeating, right? Okay, oh yeah, that's right. I do these reports, or I do this once a month, okay? So I would definitely be tracking it over a month or 2 and really kind of hone in, and really, it's an eye opener. Okay. If I'm just being honest, it's an eye opener. You're going to also see where maybe you're also just kind of wasting time, but that's a whole other subject. Okay. So when you're looking at these things that are done over and over, these are those prime candidates for automation. So common examples include, like, let's say sending a welcome email. Maybe you're sending text reminders, right? Maybe you're posting content or delivering content. Maybe you are collecting payments, right? Maybe it's a lead follow-up and you're in your DMs or something. Okay. So look at all that. Step 3, choose the right technology solution. Now, this is critical. While you can piece together multiple tools with those integrations, such as Zapier, the truth is that an all-in-one platform that actually is an all-in-one platform, not like, oh, I'm an all-in-one platform. Oh, but I don't send text messages, or I don't have a calendar feature, or I don't have, right? That's not an all-in-one platform. Maybe I don't have courses, or I don't have a community. Okay. Not an all-in-one platform. Um, it will work better with this routine and these systems that you're trying to create, because it eliminates the need to duct tape all the systems together, and it reduces overall tech expenses, really making you more profitable. And it prevents these data silos, where you have like these silos and technical headaches that come with multiple platforms. Now, for coaches specifically, I recommend Optima Funnels, which is the reason why I decided to develop it. It's an all-in-one platform designed to handle your marketing, sales, fulfillment, CRM, your coaches, your courses, I meant to say, memberships, all these different things without needing 5 different subscriptions and complex integrations. Okay. Step 4 is to consider expert implementation. So if you're serious about scaling, consider hiring a systems strategist or an agency to set this up properly the first time. And if you go with a systems strategist, like if you're looking bigger picture, like all the systems in your business, then you'll probably have to hire 2 people, right? The system strategist and then the agency to set it up. Some might set it up for you. However, you want to make sure that you have a marketing agency, especially to set up some of these marketing, sales, and fulfillment tasks, that they understand what pieces need to be put in place. Okay. So again, the upfront investment could be a little high. However, it saves you in countless hours of trial and error, YouTube tutorials, and costly mistakes. A professional implementation means your systems will actually work as intended from day 1. Then step 5 is to test, measure, and optimize. So once your systems are in place, track those key metrics like time saved, conversion rates, right? Client satisfaction, retention rates. This data will reveal opportunities to further refine your processes and increase their effectiveness. So remember, scaling isn't just about working harder or even smarter. It's about creating these systems that allows your business to serve more people without requiring more of your personal time and energy. Okay. So let's talk about the mindset piece of this, because that's often the biggest hurdle. Many coaches struggle with automation because they think it'll make their business feel less personal, right? I hear this a lot, but I want to give my clients this high touch experience, right? This is a very common concern. And you know what? It's a very valid point. But here's the truth. Automation doesn't replace the personal touch. It enhances it by freeing you to be fully present where it truly matters. Now, there's also the investment hesitation, okay? So I can't afford proper systems yet, right? However, this is backwards thinking, okay? You can not afford not to have the proper systems if you want to scale. The cost of piecing together 5 different cheap tools, or possibly even 5 different expensive tools, often exceeds the price of one comprehensive solution, not to mention the hidden cost of your time spent managing all those disconnected platforms. Like, one of the things that sometimes people bring me in for is like, okay, here's all my stuff. Something's broken, figure it out, right? And then it's like, oh man, now I got to go and troubleshoot and look at all the 5 different softwares. I got to go look at all the zaps, see which got disconnected and where. How can we prevent it from next time? And let me tell you, that is very time consuming. And if you're in the middle of a launch, or you have a funnel that's on evergreen, or you have ads driving to something and it breaks, you need to fix that like now, okay? And let's just be real. Something happens with technology because it's technology, just like humans. We're only human. We make mistakes. Technology makes mistakes. Nothing is perfect. However, when you have them all connected, they're more likely to break. And in a crunch or not, you don't know what other things come into place. And another example is if you are going to, let's say, update something, like with your offer or your emails or something like that, you have so many different pieces that you might forget, hey, this piece was part of that. Or, oh, that's right, we need to also do this, right? So then sometimes things will go out and it's like talking about one thing and then all of a sudden it brings in something else and it's like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Oh, that's right. That was an offer we used to offer and we don't offer it anymore. Okay. So there's lots of things that can go in with having these multiple platforms and not having all your systems done. Finally, there's the upfront investment of time and money. So building your systems requires a ton of time, not only for you to map it out, right? Document your time like we were just talking about. Maybe it's even to learn and implement everything yourself if that's what you choose to do. Like that's how I started learning, right? I'm like, I'm kind of techie. I think I could figure this out. It didn't happen overnight. And it's like, I always hear like somebody will tell me, they'll hire me and they'll be like, hey, can you teach my team how to do this? And I'm like, do they have 10 years to sit down and we'll talk about it together? Even if I were to cut that time in half, you can't become an expert overnight, right? So both feel like a lot when you're already busy or you're watching your cash flow, right? To actually hire someone to do this. But it's the classic slow down to speed up principle. A little investment now creates an exceptional returns later. And the truth is, your clients don't care about the behind the scenes technology, right? They just care about their experience with you is smooth, professional, and transformative. And a well-designed system is that personalized to your business and your clients actually deliver more consistent, impressive client experience than a manual process ever could, right? From the first marketing touch point all the way to the final session with you. And might I say, even beyond to becoming that raving fan and referring you to everybody and their grandma, right? I want to leave you with this thought. The ceiling of your business growth is directly tied to how effectively your business can run without your constant intervention. So if every process requires your personal attention, your business only can grow as far as your time and energy will allow. But when you build intelligent systems that handle your marketing, sales, and fulfillment, your impact and income can grow far beyond what you could achieve through manual effort alone. So this isn't just about business efficiency. It's about creating a life where technology works for you and not the other way around. It's about having the time and the energy to actually enjoy the financial freedom and flexibility that probably drew you to coaching in the first place. So, what's one manual process that you are going to automate this week? I'm sure in this discussion, one thing came into your mind and you're like, oh, I know for sure I do that one. Or are you ready to make an investment in a comprehensive system that will transform your business? So think about it. Maybe even share it with me on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. Now, if you found this valuable, please take a moment and leave a review because your feedback helps other coaches find this podcast. And if you want to dive deeper into scaling your coaching business the right way, again, I highly recommend checking out Optima Funnels. So go to optimafunnels.com. It's the all-in-one platform that's specifically designed for coaches who want to automate their marketing, sales, and fulfillment without the headache of the multiple tools. So head on over to optimafunnels.com to learn more and see how it can transform your business. All right, I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Until next time, let's grow your business together.